This is Radio Paul, and I want to do a follow up to my earlier response to Mark Bunker's video tonight in reference to some thoughts I had after doing my initial response. And that is the question I want to talk about the value of Scientology, period. There is this concept that, well, gee, if you could just not have the abuses in Scientology, David Miscavige hitting people, and the disconnection of families. So I think it really is worth examining what Scientology is and what it is not. What it is not, what it will never be, in my opinion, this is my take, is a religion. It is what it was set out to be, which is a money-making business venture. And it has cult-like aspects to the members, and the way they think it is in fact a cult. Not it is to them, but that is their role in it as a cult member. The man who founded Scientology, I don't think had even the slightest interest in any type of religion aspect to this, and this is well documented. The comments that he made or that he was heard making about the best way to make $1 million is to start a religion matches very well with how Scientology was first started, with Dianetics getting shut down because he tried to pass it off as a mental health alternative, and then being turned into a religion and trying to covet a tax status as such. Now, having said this, the question is, what benefits do these people draw from Scientology? What little benefits that they do draw versus what they're forced to put into it, both money, sweat, labor, are things that can commonly be found in self-help books. You don't need to throw your money down the toilet. You don't need to call yourself a religion in order to go and spend $20 at Barnes & Noble and buy a book that will tell you exactly the same things that are in Scientology's teachings or spread throughout it, because it is not the embodiment of their teachings. Then I would have to ask where Hubbard got this information from. Any Scientologist that really does do their homework and tries to figure that out is going to find that he plagiarized it from other authors. And I guess, yes, early on he was giving credit. He would say where he had found this information. Well, if this information was out there prior to Scientology, it becomes meaningless then. Scientology becomes meaningless as a religion. It didn't have these great revelations. It didn't provide these answers. There was a guy who pooled bits of information together that sounded good, and sometimes, if people use the self-help info or philosophies, it might improve one portion of their life. What he was a great salesman. He really got them to buy into a bunch of malarkey. So I just want to follow up with saying again, Scientology to me has no intrinsic value. It is a cult. And as Senator Xenophon from Australia said, and I think this really sums it up, it's a criminal organization that hides behind its so-called religious beliefs. It is a mafia that has taken control of people's lives. There's a worldwide pattern of abuse and criminality, and it is not by accident but by design. It is a conditioning that takes place over years. Yes, that's exactly what it is. This is not about religious beliefs. And any organization that has from its foundation is do not question the leader. Do not question the information provided to you. If you're having doubts, that's a crime. There can be no peace with an organization like that. It will not be Scientology anymore. Scientology was created as a fraud, not as a religion, not as something to better people's lives. Give you an example. Mobsters in the 1920s in the United States, Al Capone would give soup to soup kitchens during the Great Depression. Did that mean he improved people's lives? Yes, on some level. I guess he did. What was the motivation behind it? No, ladies and gentlemen, we can't just let Scientologists think whatever they want in a vacuum. It is that vacuum, that very vacuum, that becomes the cult. People must be able to articulate their beliefs in public as well as private. And Scientology is and always will be incapable of doing that. It is what Scientology is. So I will never put a white flag up. I will never have a peace meeting with Scientology. If you want to leave, if you want to bail, if you want out, by all means, below. But you are not a Scientologist if you're not preaching and you're not acting or adhering to the writings of L. Ron Hubbard. And if you are adhering, practicing, and preaching the writings of L. Ron Hubbard, as far as I'm concerned, you're a human rights abuser, because if you're doing what he said, you are committing crimes. And I, for one, will be there to confront you. So no, there will be no white flag of peace.